Is on the increase, predominantly among young black males and white females in the 30 to 50 age range. But schools Chancellor Richard Green's death from asthma at age 52 showed that the disease can kill at any age, sometimes needlessly. Galen Moten has more.
Many people think of asthma as a minor affliction, but for New York Schools Chancellor Richard Green, asthma was a matter of life and death. Last year, 4,800 people in this country died from asthma. That's a 25% increase over the past 5 years. But experts say death from asthma can be prevented.
I think Chancellor Green had two very common phenomena with people that suffer from asthma their whole life. One is that they get used to the disease because they have to live and they have to focus on other things, especially in a successful person like Chancellor Green that had many other things on his mind. And so what happens is they tend to ignore the symptoms as they get more severe, and that's an adaptive pattern that's very common to asthmatics. They tend to, as they get more chronic in the disease, as they suffer it over time, they know the medicines they have to take, and they literally, their visits to a doctor decline significantly.
Dr. Arthur Lubitz is an allergy and asthma specialist. He feels that another major problem contributing to the asthma death rate is the use of hospital emergency rooms instead of long-term treatment.
The problem with an emergency room is they treat it very aggressively, but they only treat it for one night at a time, and every time you go to an emergency room, you get a different doctor. And the thing about asthma is it's episodic, so that it can be good for 3 months a year and severe for 2 months a year. And I believe that the continuous follow-up of your personal physician who knows you, and when he hears you once on the phone after having, experience with you for 1 or 2 years of good and bad seasons, they can, much easier abate an attack before it becomes severe. Theodore, why don't you take a deep breath?
Theodore Alford has suffered from asthma and allergies for 15 years. Before seeking regular treatment, his attacks were frequent and frightening.
It's almost like as if you're dying, really. You feel like it. Because when you can't catch your breath, you feel like you're on your way out. And you're breathing harder, and every breath is very laboring. In fact, sometimes you wish you were dead.
In an asthma attack, what happens is two problems. One is that the muscles go into spasm. And just like you make a muscle, when someone tells you to make a muscle on your arm, in the same way the muscles of the lungs go into spasm. And the second problem is that there's increased chest congestion and filling up of mucus and phlegm, which stays there between attacks even when the patient feels well, so that they have some asthmatic problem even when they feel good. And as they continue to get severe attacks, this feeling of feeling well continues even though their body's registering abnormalities.
Doctors are now finding that 50% of adult asthmatics and 90% of afflicted children also suffer from allergies. According to Dr. Lubitz, this newly discovered correlation will probably lead to a decrease in the asthma death rate. In the meantime, the disease can be kept under control.
Your asthma is very good, but you appear to be almost normal, you see? This is you, the green line, and this is red, the normal. And we see that you almost come up to 80% within the normal values.
When I start getting an asthma attack, I take the medicine he gave me, it knocks it right out. And then he gave me a machine that I breathe through, and that really knocks it out.
Right now, there's no cure for asthma or allergies, but there are some things you can do. Avoid over-the-counter medications. See your doctor frequently. Check your environment for possible irritants, and take your prescribed medications regularly. In Manhattan, I'm Galen Moten for the McReary Report.
The spirit, the rhythm, the pride of